Hello, this is MV, early in the morning here in the UK. It is a little less warm than it was at the turn my fan off. I was broadcasting late last night, got some sleep, and here I am again. Gonna get some coffee after this one. Just fancied a bit of baseball for my 1982 season. This is the one with the DH on. And a little bit of Red Sox and Blue Jays. I was going through the sketch and I saw Bobby Ojeda. I said, you know what, as a future Met, I will watch him pitch at Fenway. Red Sox in 1982, 33 and 46. Toronto Blue Jays, 38 and 41. So they're coming into Boston, both teams not doing well in the East. The Yankees are running away with it. And in 1982, in the real season, that wasn't the case. The Brewers and the Baltimore Orioles, they're up there, and we saw the Brewers yesterday put on a bit of a show in a losing effort. They've got so much power, but their pitching, oh my God, not the best, with the exception of Mike Caldwell. And we saw Caldwell get bruised yesterday. So here we are. I'll do this one. This is put this on my faster play in a minute. As Damaso Garcia leads off for Toronto. Steve was on the mound for the Jays. So Ojeda gets a sign from Rich Gedman. Gedman, very good catcher, young catcher in this game. Here we go. Ojeda on the season is 7.43 ERA with a 3-3 record. And he gives up a base hit early to Damaso Garcia on the first. Up next is Barry Bonnell, and Garcia has 27 steals on the season. So Barry Bonnell steps in. Ojeda will look at first, keeping an eye on the runner. Here's the pitch from Ojeda. The 0-1. Grounded to the right side. And Yaz bobbles the ball, but gets it to Ojeda at first, and Garcia is at second. Here's Garth Org at the plate. Iorg or Org? Gedman sets the target. Ojeda into his windup. There's a 2-0. Curveball. Garcia to third. So wild pitch there from Bobby Ojeda. Let's speed up the text here a little bit. Let's go. Garth Org batting 300 on the season. Ojeda looks in, he's ready. Here's the 3-0. Line drive up the middle and a base hit, and Garcia comes home. So Org with the single. Brings up Willie Upshaw. Willie batting 249, 10 home runs. He's batting in a cleanup position. In 1982, he hit 21 home runs, and this team would get stronger and stronger as the decade wore on. A lot of their pieces already in place as I can look up and down their lineup. Here's Ojeda now. Upshaw steps in. Ojeda toes the rubber. Here is the 2-1. And that's a ground ball into left field by Upshaw. 2 men on. Upshaw gets his single as Jim Rice throws it back into the infield. 1-0 Toronto here, 1 out. Ojeda not having a good season so far. As Buck Martinez steps up, he's batting in the 5th position. Not much power in this Toronto team, not yet anyway. First and second occupied. And that's lined straight to Jim Rice for 2 away. Wayne Nordhagen steps up in the DH position. 2 men on here for Toronto. Gedman sets behind the plate. Ojeda into his windup. Here's the 2-1. Grounded to third. Boggs is up with it over to Remy, and that is the end of the inning. Half inning. 1 run scores on 3 hits, no errors after 1 half inning. Toronto 1, Boston coming to bat. Jerry Remy coming to the plate now, batting .290. He's batting from the left-hand side. On the mound, Dave Steele. Just a quick look at the Blue Jay defense. Behind the plate, Buck Martinez. At first, Woody Upshaw. Second, Damaso Garcia. At shortstop, Alfredo Griffin, a 7. Nice defense up the middle with Garcia 7 and Griffin 7. Org is at third. In left field, Johnson, Tony Johnson. In center field, the young budding Lloyd Mosby. And in right field, Barry Bonnell. On the mound, Steve on the season is 7-11 with a 3.55 ERA. Remy waits. Here's the 3-2. Low and away, and Remy on base. Brings up Wade Boggs. Boggs already over 300 for the season. With Remy has 10 steals. Steve is set on the mound. Gets his pitch. Here's his pitch. His 2-2 pitch. Boggs grounds it to Garcia, fields to his left, throws it to second, and gets the runner. Boggs is safe at first. On a fielder's choice. It's Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice, keep doing that. Jim Rice, 17 home runs on the season. Having a good season, Jim. Even if Boston aren't, he is. He's already closing in on what he actually did in real life. Runner on first. Here's the 0-2. And Steve strikes him out. Evans steps in. Runner on first. Here's the 2-2. It's popped up behind the plate. Martinez rips off his mask to go for it, but it's foul. Here's Dwight Evans. The 2-2 to Evans. Caught the inside corner. Struck him out. So we go to the top of the second inning. Young Lloyd Mosby steps up to the plate. Batting .252. Mosby very close to his real life stats here. Ojeda looks in. There's the 1-0 grounded up the middle. Remy gathers it in. And they try to get the runner at first. And Mosby's speed just hit past Ojeda. Remy charged in, and it wasn't enough to throw out Mosby. Griffin steps in. He squares the punt, and Mosby will go down to second. Boston been very disappointing this season, mirroring what they did in real life, but Jim Rice having a good season. It's Tony Johnson now at the plate. Runner on second. Mosby going for third. The throw down to third, and Mosby is safe. It's Tony Johnson at the plate. The 0-2 from Ojeda. Struck him out. First strikeout for Bobby Ojeda. As Damaso Garcia steps up. 2 men out here, man on third. Ojeda gets a sign. Here's the pitch. Grounded to left field, and Garcia with a base hit. And the runner scores. Lloyd Mosby scores. Rice will fire it back in. 2-0 Blue Jays. As Barry Bonnell steps up. Runner on first. Here's the pitch from Ojeda. Runner goes to second, and the throw not in time. Damaso Garcia now with a stolen base. And he's in there. Safe. Here's Barbinell now, waiting. This count is 0-1. Ojeda checks the runner. Line drive to right field. And trouble out there in the outfield as Garcia scores. Bonnell with a stand-up double. 3-0 Blue Jays. Org at the plate. Gedman sets. Runner on second. Here's the 0-2. Deep fly ball to right center field. In fact, Evans camps under it and makes the catch to retire the side. 2-run score, 3 hits, no errors. After 1.5 innings, Toronto 3, Boston nothing. Here's Carl Yastrzemski. Yaz has cooled off a bit now. It's the summer month of June or July. He's batting .260 with 13 home runs. He had 9 after the first month, so he's cooled off quite some. There's the 2-2, and yes, struck out underneath. Brings it up Rick Miller, batting .215. Here is 3-1. High, and Miller will go to first. Now we're seeing a special player here, Tony Perez. Yes, the Tony Perez. I didn't know he played for Boston as he sees out his career. He's 40 years old now. Stepping up on the right, that's a key RBI man. Playing DH. Steve looks in, gets the sign. Here's the 1-2. Base it into right field, and Miller will go to third. Runners in scoring position as Rich Gedman steps up. Gedman waits for Steve. Runs in first and third. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball. Hit deep to right field. This one could go. It is going. Gone. Rich Gedman hit a 3-run home run. And Boston happy as they tie it up here in the bottom of the second. Steve hanging curveball and bang. Gone. There's Glenn Hoffman here at the plate. Remy on deck. Hard grounder to second. And he throws out the runner. As Jerry Remy steps in. Steve, arms stretched above his head, goes into his motion. Here's the 2-1. Grounded to short to his third. York up with it, not in time. And Remy safe at first. Seesaw battle here already. It's Wade Boggs, 0 for 1, Mr. Consistent. Here's the first pitch. High fly to center field. And Mosby has it out there, and that's the end of the inning. After 2 complete, Toronto 3, Boston 3. Bobby Ojeda takes the hill now for Boston. At the top of the third inning. Upshaw digs on, he's 1 for 1. Ojeda gets a sign, here's the 0-2. Grounded up the middle. Poor play by Remy. And Upshaw with a double. So Willie Upshaw leads off dealing with a double. There is Buck Martinez. Ojeda looks in, 1-1 count. Deep fly ball to center field. Rick Miller will come in, and Upshaw going for third. He's thrown out. A strong, accurate throw by Rick Miller. And Upshaw is tagged out by Boggs at third. Nice play by Rick Miller and Wade Boggs. Wayne Nordhagen steps in. 2-2 count. Grounded, and Ojeda makes the error, and Nordhagen is going to get to first. Error number 2 on the season for Bobby Ojeda. Mosby steps in. Lefty versus lefty. Runner on first. Ojeda stares in. Here's the 0-1. Hoffman up with it. And a nice throw, strong throw to first. Gets their man. There's Jim Rice now, leading off for Boston. It's the bottom of the third. Steve gets the sign. Here's the 0-2. Fly ball to center field. Mosby has it, and that's one away. Dwight Evans steps up next. Here's the 3-1. Shallow fly ball down the left field line. Nice play by Tony Johnson in left field to retire Evans. 2 away. Here's a 2-1. Yastrzemski hits it to right field, and that's the end of Boston. After 3 complete, Toronto 3, Boston 3. Alfredo Griffin steps in now. His first at bat of the game. Here's a 3-1. Down to Boggs. Boggs up with it. Nice play. Boggs charged in there at third. He's got an 8 fielding rating, so that's all good. Here's Tony Johnson. 0 for 1 today. Ojeda looking to settle down. Here's the 0-2 curveball. Ground to Hoffman, who tosses to first. Got his man. 2 away. Damaso Garcia steps up now. 2 for 2, Damaso. He grounded a single between third and short. And he lined a single to left. Here's a 2-2. And that's blooped straight to Jerry Remy. No runs, no hits, no errors after 3.5. Toronto 3, Boston 3. Here's Rick Miller now, leading off the bottom of the 4th. Fastball from Steep. And he grounds out to Willie Upshaw at first, who does his own DIY. Here's the veteran Tony Perez playing DH today. He's 1 for 1. There's the 0-2 from Steep. Struck him out for a strikeout now for Dave Steep. There's Rich Gedman, 3 RBIs today. Gedman, I think, hit a home run early on in the ball game. Let's double check that. Yep. Had a 3-run home run in the second. Steve sets. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball up the middle. Base hit for Rich Gedman. Here's Glenn Hoffman. Remy on deck. Here's man on first. Here's a 2-2. Grounded between second and first. And a base hit for Hoffman. Gedman will go down to third. There's Jerry Remy now at the plate. 1 for 1 today. Martinez wants to talk to Steve. Here's a 2-0 curveball. And it's hammered to right field by Remy. Gedman will score. Bonnell with the throw in and Hoffman down to third. 4-3 Boston. Here's Wade Boggs. He steps in, runners on the corners. Here's the 1-2. And Boggs with a rare strikeout comes up empty. 5th strikeout for Steve after 4 complete. Boston 4, Toronto 3. So Boston go ahead there on 1 run from those 3 hits. Leading off for Toronto, Barry Bonnell. Ojeda still on the mound for Boston. Here's the 1-2. Fly ball to left field. Rice has it, and that's 1 away. Garth Org at the plate. He's 1 for 2. First pitch to Org. Deep fly ball down the left field line. And Jim Rice runs that one down and makes the catch. 2 away. I thought that was heading to the Green Monster there, as in over it. I was wrong. Here's Willie Upshaw, though. He's 2 for 2. 1 ball, no strikes. Base hit up the middle. So Upshaw's on again. Brings up Buck Martinez. Runner on first. Here's the first pitch. Off speed. A throw down to second. And Upshaw gets number 3. Third steal for Willie Upshaw. Runner on second. Ojeda gets the sign on the inside corner, and they get their man. Side retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 4.5 innings. Boston 4, Toronto 3. Here's Boston at the bottom of the 5th. Steve on the mound. Rice will stare in. 3 is a 3-1. Line drive to center field. And a triple for Jim Rice. Rice having a good day today. Continuing his fine season. Here's Dewey Evans. Batting 260, 0 for 2 today. Runner on the corner at third base. Here's the 0-2. Off speed. Struck him out. 6 strikeouts for Dave Steve. Here's Carl Yastrzemski. Miller on deck. Runner on third. The payoff pitch. Low and inside from Steve. They'll walk Yastrzemski. There's Rick Miller. 0 for 1. Runs on first and third. Here's the 0-2. And Miller got a piece of it with that swing. Martinez hung on. Another K for Steve. Up to 7 strikeouts. He's going to get out of this jam. Here is Tony Perez. One of the members of the Big Red Machine. Now at 40 years old. Steve, first pitch. Shallow fly ball to left. Tony Johnson will have it and makes the catch. No runs, 1 hit, no errors after 5 in the books. Boston 4, Toronto 3. Nordhagen leads off. It's a 6. That's hit to right field. And Evans catches it in field territory. Nordhagen will sit down. It's Lloyd Mosby. Here's the 0-2. Struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Ojeda here. Alfredo Griffin steps up now. He's 0 for 1 today. Ojeda is set. Here's the 2-1. High fly ball to center field. Rick Miller has it. And he's under it and makes the catch. 1, 2, 3, they go down. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 5.5, Boston 4, Toronto 3. Leading off the bottom of the 6th now, Rich Gedman. Had a 3-run homer in the 2nd. Here's the 2-2. Steve struck him out with a changeup. Ching-ching. 8 strikeouts. Here's Hoffman now leading up. Coming up next, batting .212 on the season. It's 1 for 2 today. Steve gets a sign. Here's the 0-2. Grounded to Alfredo Griffin, who can't get the ball out of his glove. Error number 40 for Griffin. Remy steps in. He knocked to the run with a single in the 4th. Here's the 1-0. Grounded to left field. And Hoffman will go to second. Remy will get a base hit. Here's Boggs, 0 for 3. Runner up first and second. Steve ready. Here's the 1-2. On the outside. Struck him out with a fastball. 9 strikeouts for Dave Steve. It's Jim Rice, 1 for 3. Steve looks in. First and second up. Here's the pitch. Ground to Garcia over to Upshaw. And that's all they need. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error. We've played 6. Boston 4, Toronto 3. Bobby Ojeda takes the mound for the 7th inning. No, they're bringing in Mark Clare. Molyneux will come in for Toronto. Molyneux leads off, and he's out. It's a couple of moves from both managers here. As Clare on the mound. Clare, we know, is a terrific pitcher. He will strike you out, Mark Clare. Here's Damaso Garcia now. It's counted 3-2. Ground to third. Boggs up with it. And they throw it Garcia. Here is Barry Bonnell. The 2-2 to Bonnell. Line drive into left field. And he'll get a double. Rice will get it over into the infield, but a double. Toronto trying to come back into it. They only trail by 1. Here's Garth York. Here's the 1-2. Grounded to second. Yastrzemski underhands it to Clare. 2, and that's all they need. Here's Dwight Evans leading off the bottom of the 7th for Boston. Steve still on the mound. Evans will start. Here's 0 for 3 today. Here's the 3-1. High and outside as Evans laid off that pitch. Base on balls. He's on first. Yastrzemski steps in. Carl struggling as of late. 0 for 2. Miller on deck. Here, runner on first. Here's a 2-2. Curveball. Grounded to Griffin, who throws over. And would you believe it, Yastrzemski beats the throw. It was deep in the hole. Nice play by Griffin. But Yaz with enough wheels to get to first. And Steve now showing signs of wear and tear. They'll stick with him. Runners on first, second. Steve stares in. Here's the 3-1 inside. So there we go. 5 walks now for Steve. Tony Perez comes in. Nobody out. Boston looks to extend their lead. Steve will stay in. There's the 3-0. In the dirt. And they've left him in there for whatever reason I do not know. Another run scores. Bases loaded. There's a 2-0. Grounded. Nice play by Griffin. Showing his range, and they get the double play. But Yastrzemski scores. 6-3. Come on now. Take Steve out of there. Runner on third. Here's the pitch. 0-2. Base hit, and Miller will score. And Steve's coming out of there now. So Steve Santini on the mound for Toronto. Here is Jerry Remy at the plate. Drove in a run in the fourth, singled in the sixth. Runner on first. Here's the 0-1. Grounder between Upshur and Garcia. And Hoffman will go to third. Fourth hit for Jerry Remy. Having an excellent ball game. Boggs 0 for 4. Gotta hit sometime. Runs at the corner. Here's the 0-1 from Centineo. Split finger. Fly ball to right. And Mosby has it. So another at bat for Boggs without doing anything. After 7, Boston 7, Toronto 3. Heat wave here in the UK, very difficult to sleep. That's why I'm about up early again. I stayed up late last night messing around online. Went to sleep for a few hours and up again, and it's hot. It's very stifling. It's that kind of heat where you have a headache. I've taken an aspirin. I'm all right now. But I feel sticky and muggy. The window's open. The fans are on. I mean, gee, I don't know how I'm going to get through today. Here's a 2-2 from Claire. Line straight on Hoffman. That's where the top of the 8th inning. Here's Buck Martinez 0 for 3. Which will step in for him and he'll pinch it. The righty gets a sign. There's a cutter. Grounded by Witt to second. Remy up with it. Throws it to first for the out. 2 away. Quick 1-2 here. Claire trying to hold it down for Bobby Ojeda. Here's Nordhagen 0 for 3. Now Revering will come in for Nordhagen. Here's the 1-2 to him. And that is on the outside part of the plate. Mark Claire looking good on the mound. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 7.5, Boston 7, Toronto 3. It's Jim Rice 1 for 4 today. Righty stares in. Grounded to Upshaw, and then that's 1 away. Dewey Evans up now. He's due. He's 0 for 3. Here's the 1-2 from Centini. Struck him out. Here's Jastrzemski 1 for 3. And that was hit high and hard to right field. But Powell has it in right field to retire the side. Nothing across in the bottom of the 8th. We now go to Toronto's last chance, the top of the 9th. Claire looks fine on the mound. There's the 3-1. And that's a base hit for Lloyd Mosby. Nobody out here, top of the 9th. Blue Jays trail 7-3. Gedman out to speak to Claire. Gedman wants to walk Claire, and they haven't. Gedman wants to walk Griffin. So now Mosby's at second. 1 out as Hoskin Powell at the plate. There's the 2-2 to Hoskin Powell. And that's a base hit, and Mosby will probably try and score. No, he'll stay at third. Not trusting himself against Jim Rice. It's Damaso Garcia at the plate. A new pitcher in there, Bergmeyer. There's the 0-1. Slow roll is a short. Hoffman is up with it, and Mosby will score. And score is 7-4. Only 1 out left, though. Bonnell at the plate. First pitch from Bergmeyer. And that's a base hit from Bonnell. Garcia will go to third. So the tie and run all of a sudden at the plate. Garth Org. Bergmeyer on the mound. Bergmeyer's been lights out so far this season. Upshur on deck. Here's the 2-0. And that should do it. Shallow fly ball to right. And Dwight Evans puts it away to retire the side and the game. Toronto 4, Boston 7. It's a very tired MV here. This heat is stifling. There we are. As streak goes a bit wonky here. The winning pitcher was Bobby Ojeda. Losing pitcher was Dave Steve. Good day here from Bonnell, 3 for 5. Garcia 2 for 5. It must be 2 for 4. Gedman had a good, but Jerry Remy with 4 for 4 for Boston as they try to get their season untracked. So, without further ado, oh gosh, it's so hot. We go to the schedule. Might not have been a great idea. I'm glad I got through the game though, in this heat. So we just saw Boston and Toronto. Let's just see the rest of the day. And there we are. I'll call this broadcast a close in a minute. If you look at the Yankees got a 3-game lead to 2 surprising teams. 3 surprising teams actually. Detroit and New York and Cleveland. A lot of the Detroit Tigers that would do well in '84 are in place. You can see Gibson and Hojo. I think Hojo played for them then. Before going to the Mets. Parrish, Levin, Whitaker, Herndon, Trammell. All in place. And they're making a run early. Cleveland have done well. My voice, you might see is slowing down. I mean, it is, really and truly hot. So I'll leave it there. Just a quick look at the runners and riders as we bring this one to a close. Thank you, everyone. I didn't engage with the chat today, so I assume everyone's asleep. They know what they say about assumption. But my God, I keep saying it really is stuffy. Jeez,